5. Boom, boom. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Oh, that is so nasty. Like,
Well, I
5,
mean, but it's better than
4,
see if you would have just
3.
is it though?
brown cow.
You just think
1.
about it in your head already. So
I don't know why you're like so anti-countdown. That's just there's something.
because it's like, is it
so
necessary?
negative about you.
And also too, hello everybody.
Hello,
Good evening, everyone.
We were
How-
having a spirited discussion,
Yes.
and of course,
I don't think it was spirited. I think you gave yourself too much credit with that.
Tonight.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't. I
think he
will
was giving himself
say
too much credit there, Sandy. So.
Whatever I want to say, when I want to say, that's what I'm going to say. Yes.
So who's the centralist in the room? That guy, right there, right over there.
Join us today for
Oh, you know what? So
Throwdown Thursday.
Hold on.
Oh gosh, there's so much I need to share.
I know.
So little time.
So get going, man.
And
Start-
here's the thing
like,
is-
what are you waiting on? Let's go. Let's do it. We're in the
I'm
show.
excited. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm just excited because Monday's my birthday, and I always get excited things like just feel it. I love it. Like it just makes me feel good, and it's like I couldn't get the day off because my boss was like, "Well, I'm out of town for 3 weeks, so it's just gonna be you and the other guy," and I'm all like,
Be like,
It's
that's
always just you.
Problem.
I was like, "What does I mean?"
Yeah.
What's-
It's
Anyway,
like me telling my guys, hey, I'm going to be gone for a few days. They're like, and that's different how?
How much
You
is
know-
2 days?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, and literally 3 weeks, and so just to share a little bit in my managing style, for example, like when people would ask me time off, I never said no. I
Right.
never said no because I'm like, man, we're gonna be here when you leave. We're gonna be here when you come back. When you move on to your next job, we're gonna be here. This place is gonna continue on with or without you. So take the time off, get your mental health in order, go enjoy life, whatever else, and then just come back when it's time.
Exactly.
Is there a
Exactly.
song that says "with or without you"?
With or without
It's by
you.
U2. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
It's a good
believe
song.
that's from the Rattle and Hum. No, that's from the Joshua Tree album, I think.
Yeshua Tree.
Joshua Tree.
Yeshua.
So how else is your day going, Jimmy? Since
It's been pretty good.
you
I
have
had a
all
good-
kinds of info to give us today, so
I mean, well, I can't share it all, but guys, I wish I could tell you more because Monday is such a spectacular day, and
way to
there's
build it up and
there's
then
a lot of good stuff. Oh,
push
and
us
then
off the
next week-
edge.
listen, and then we're working on our 100th episode coming next Thursday. I'm so stoked about that, guys! Like 100 episodes.
I know.
I'm
that-
just gonna call it in on that day. I'm calling in that day.
You better not.
I'm like 99% there, man. I'm good.
Right.
Producer, please, we will be calling you and using your special skills to get them on, okay?
Right.
Yeah, so we got.
I'll have a
coming up.
cutout of myself here. And
Oh, that might
yeah.
actually be.
Would that be good?
better.
And
Yeah.
it won't
Better.
count down.
Oh wait, yeah. I have to be here then because I can't have a day where I don't
Oh,
count
God.
down.
And then again, so next Friday's our season finale, man, and it's like, oh, it's hard to believe we're going to be ending on 101 episode, not ending, but having our season done with. So yeah, but that's exciting because when we come back, it's going to be great.
It's gonna be great.
Right.
So, and I can't wait for my birthday because I think I'm going to order pineapple cookies, guys.
Pineapple cookies.
Yes, I love them. They're great. They're sugar cookies in the shape of a freaking pineapple. If I can pull them up before the end of the show, I'll show them
What did
whenever.
I think
Whenever.
it was pineapple, and I thought of you.
My last name.
No, I saw
No.
something.
These guys back here. Sorry, I'm a little joyous today. So,
A
how
little.
was your day?
Glad.
How was your day, Joe?
You were nervous.
I was, Sandy. I was.
Today
Oh my
you're
gosh.
joyous.
I wish I could. I'm going to tell you all that story another time. We're going to save that one for
Okay.
season 2 because that was a good story. Well, how was your day, Joe?
Oh, so I made it to work.
Yay!
I made it to work, and then
Right, that was a 1 o'clocker. That was after
Actually, I was like, I actually made it there like at 11:30. Oh, so now we're gonna say hi while I'm trying to tell my day. I see how it
Yeah,
is. It's
yeah.
cool. It's fine. Yeah. Go ahead. Say hi to everybody. Cut into my day.
Oh,
It's
it's Jillian.
Miss Jillian. Anyways, okay. So
Tell us about your day, Joe.
I am. I'm going, and I'm like, hey, you know what? There is an exercise bike right here that I could use. So I get on my exercise bike and I go live on Instagram, and
What?
and I'm like pedaling and answering photography questions while I'm exercising, and I went
Good
a
for
whole
you.
5.5 miles today.
Where is that walking machine at in your house, dude? Because I have your house pictured in my head. I'm like, he's got 3 kids there, wife, 2 dogs.
Walking machine? No. This is at the office. I was at the office, and I have a
Oh, I missed
and
that
I
part.
have
All right,
we
okay.
have a stationary bike there at the office in my office. So I was there, and I was on
Yep.
Instagram, and I kept saying, as soon as I get down to one viewer, I'm stopping, and I get down to one viewer, and then 2 or 3 people would join, and I was like, oh, now I gotta answer questions, and I keep going.
Notification that you went live.
Yeah, I did, and then I had a
Jillian.
volleyball game today.
Whoa, are you serious?
Yeah, so I was like super sporty guy today,
4% effort.
and 2% effort.
Oh my!
You always get it confused. And you know what?
Yeah.
Volleyball is a topic that someone told us we need to talk about in the future. So,
Yeah, and we
FYI.
won. We won.
Woohoo!
So that was fun, and
Congratulations, dude.
I only had to jump twice.
Joe, does your back hurt
Yeah,
from
You
having
won,
to carry
though.
all your team?
I was carrying my team. It was crazy how much I was carrying them. No. So I told them too. I was like, "Y'all better be." I only have 5 jumps today, so if I jump any more, then that's it. I can't
That's
do
all.
it.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's,
So
it's like those games, right? The
Yeah.
mobile games where it's like you only get so much gems
Right,
a day or
exactly.
whatever. It's like Joe only has 5 jumps.
Exactly. So
a
I'd
millennia
use
or
2
something.
jumps, and they're like, "Oh, so you can carry the next 3 jumps over to the next week?" And I was like, "No, that's not how it works.
Oh, that's not how. Yeah.
There's no carryover for that.
There's no
so.
rollover here.
Yeah.
AJ.
No rollover.
I went out back in the day with Cellular
yeah.
One or whatever that was called.
Yeah. So it's funny. So our team has played together quite often. So we always try to bump set spike, but the teams that we're playing don't bump set spike. So we get surprised a lot of the times because usually
Really?
you bump set spike and then you get ready for defense. Well, we get it over to them and they just shoot it back over to us, and I'm like, oh crap, it's time, we gotta play.
Yeah. You're like, this is real life, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh crap, I gotta keep playing, and so it's just funny because it catches us off guard, and so like we actually lost our first set because we're not used to that stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Stay with.
It's the city league, so it's any age group
Okay,
basically.
cool.
Yeah, so and yes, I am the oldest on my team, so
Well, we knew that.
I'm at the
As
youngest
you
on my
would
team.
have been.
I totally said that wrong. So
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Rosie, Joe, do you do a photography show on IG? Every now and then you'll see me on late, and I'll show people my editing, and then I will also just kind of randomly do something live if I'm during a shoot or whatever. So, it's cool.
Let me show you real quick, guys. I found him.
Nice
Oh, how cute!
pineapple cookies.
And is it flavored like pineapple?
No, these aren't mine. This is a friend of a friend who made them, and I was like, but I have an idea to make. I bought the pina colada flavoring so I could add to the cookies of my own to make and I bought the cookie
Nice.
cutter. So anyway, I wanted to show those real quick. Sorry.
Perfect. So, Sandy, how was your day? You're in a new setting, I see.
I
Right.
am in a new setting, so y'all
Take
can
us on
hear
a Cribs tour.
Y'all can hear that noise in the background. So
I could.
Well, Jamie could. And so anyway, I thought, you know what, Eric, I'm fixing to do a new show. I said, I was going to be on Flows for You, but we had some technical difficulties. Guys, catch me after. If not, catch the replay because it's going to be pretty late. But anyway,
gonna be funny,
I
though.
looked into our guest bedroom. So Linda, let me see if I can point it out. You see
Right
that,
there.
Linda? And
Nice.
then Baker's. And then I moved the family photo so I could have the chancla hanging up there. Yeah, so, and actually, we had been using this as Eric's office when we were both working from home. So I just thought, let's just move everything back in here.
Nice.
Aw.
So, I mean, that's about it. We didn't do a whole lot. Oh, I made my chicken salad that I love so much for dinner.
Oh, that was the one that last time you made. It all ruined because of what? I
Because,
forgot what happened.
because of the Rona. Not really. No, it's just because we didn't have the right ingredients.
Because the mayonnaise or something like that. It was
No,
just-
the whip topping, the whip, because it's really hard to find a whip, a non-dairy whipped cream.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you put
Or whipping something.
and you
Yep,
put
yep.
whipped cream in there.
Yes.
Yep. So yeah, Jillian, you are very welcome. We actually like people that know how to play.
Ouch!
John, oh, she knows. John, grumpy old volleyball man. Yes, that's me.
Right.
And,
And that's also John.
yeah, Sandy, did you get a new wall at your house?
Yes.
And volleyball, you're supposed to volley. Yes. And different room.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm happy earthy.
Oh,
Happy
thank
early
you.
birthday.
Did you call
Hey,
me
Jamie.
ape? Hold on. Did she call me an ape?
She said
No.
Jay Pine Apes.
She
She
said
sure did.
Jai
like,
Pine Apes. That's I like that one.
Hush your mouth.
All right,
Joe.
Pine
Hush your
Apes.
mouth.
Hey, Pine Apes.
Yeah.
Who do we have on the show?
Guys, I'm excited to introduce a friend. Actually, no, we got this. This guy was introduced to us by one of the viewers, Priscilla, who's been a longtime viewer. She said, "Hey, I know a guy who writes books. He's written like I think at least 13 books." And I was like, "Whoa, yeah, he writes books." And so we got to talk with him a little bit, and it was like, no, it's more like 60 books. So he writes poems, he writes short stories, he writes
Prose.
Thank you. Prose. We'll have to ask him what that is when you guys are on, so you can hear the definition. Because I was like, I never heard of this. What are we talking about here?
Playwright.
Yeah, he's a playwright. He writes music. I mean, the man is
Slam
nonstop.
poetry. He's done slam poetry.
He did slam poetry. Anyway, so we got to talking, and I was like, man, I wonder if this is going to work out right, because sometimes you don't know. But we got to chatting with him, all of us, and we was like, yeah, we need to have this guy on. This guy is legit cool. Like, so bought one of his books last night. We'll let him talk about more of his books and everything, but he has a legit amount of books on Amazon that you can, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read them for free. But I was like, man, I want to support our guests, so I went ahead and bought a book or two. And so without further ado, help me welcome Phoenix Rises to the Social Undistancing Show.
Hi.
Yay! Golf clap, golf clap.
Welcome to
It's
the
nice
show.
being. Yeah, thank you. It's nice being on.
Excellent, man. We're so
Yeah.
happy you got to be here tonight.
Yeah.
So I know we got a chance to talk with you last night and stuff, but for our viewers who haven't met you yet, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself so that we can just get to know you better, Phoenix?
So I would like to try a pineapple cookie, honestly. I haven't. But I
Sounds
guess
good, doesn't it?
if the icing is pina colada, like what more do you want?
Right? See, you get me. You get me. Yes. I'll make sure when I eat those, you'll get a video of it.
I did literally think that they were like actually pineapple cookies. I didn't realize they were like
In the shape of it, right?
Same
Well, one
Yeah.
day maybe I'll make a real pineapple flavored cookie. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
thing. Yeah. I'd like to try one of these.
Well, actually, that's one of the questions we didn't get to last night. Are you in Lubbock also?
No, I'm actually in Salt Lake. Yeah.
Oh.
I was born in
Good
Texas.
job, Sandy.
Did you know? You knew, Sandy?
No, I
Sandy
Okay.
was talking really bad about
I
Salt
was
Lake.
like, oh my
Oh.
gosh, I hate Salt Lake.
I mean,
Not where you
Yeah.
live, though. I'm sure it's beautiful.
well, there
She
are
was a-
problems here too, but
She was a tourist. You know how they are.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Phoenix, okay, let me just interrupt you real quick. Okay, that Salt Lake is awful. Okay, let's just go ahead and throw it out
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Is it the smells? Like, is it the Salt Lake?
Okay, there was a lot of bugs, and they were all
Really?
over the rocks, and they were like
Okay.
flies, and they would, I mean, like millions, not just
This
one.
is at the lake?
Yes.
Okay. That's fair.
Don't go out there. Just don't do it.
So, yeah. So just to be clear, you were talking about Salt Lake, not Salt Lake City.
Well, I was in Salt Lake City,
Okay.
but we actually went out to the Great Salt Lake.
Okay. Oh yeah. No, that lake is miserable. It's cool
Okay,
as
oh my God.
yeah, it's cool as an attraction, but even then, I mean, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Phoenix, I want my $5 back. I mean, that's how bad it is.
Here's Sandy. So what's some things about you that a lot of people don't know?
Well, I don't talk about pizza
PG-13.
enough. Yeah, I don't talk about pizza enough. Yeah, I love cheese pizza. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that the only pizza you like?
Yes. Although, I like pizza. I like pizza with veggies too, but there's a place. It's called I think Medici, and it's kind of an Italian. Yeah, and it's
I got those over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in Illinois.
Really?
I wonder. Yeah, it's a kind of nice ritzy place.
Yeah.
They have them in Chicago, right?
I didn't know it was a chain. That's cool.
That's President Obama. That was one of his favorite restaurants because he's from the Chicago area, and he'd go into Medici often with that's where he took Michelle out for dates.
Yeah.
So, Phoenix, we're just trying to get to the real question. Do you like pineapples on your pizza?
Please like pineapples on your pizza.
Please don't.
Do you want well, now I'm on the spot. You want the truth. I'm like afraid to I don't think pineapples would taste very good on a cheese pizza. So it might be good on other pizzas. I mean,
see, Cindy, why do you have to talk about his lake earlier? Huh? Golly!
He said it was awful.
Can't take you anywhere with us.
Right. I need to get my $5 back.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that they charged. I didn't realize they charged. Yeah.
That is a vote against pineapples. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Phoenix, you've never even tried it. Give it a chance, Phoenix.
Well, I tried it on the Canadian bacon and pineapple. I used to like that.
You did?
See?
Yeah.
Not bad, right? Not bad.
But what else can you have pineapple on?
What do you mean?
I guess you would put it on like every flavored pizza.
You'd put it on whatever pizza you want to put it on.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I only like it on the Hawaiian thing. But okay, so I have a pineapple salsa that I like on my tacos al pastor. I mean, that's really good.
That's legit.
Oh, did you hear that?
Maybe I might just be a little bit too skeptical and like I don't know, maybe pineapples, as good as they are on some things, like I've actually never like enjoyed them necessarily in the same way as like other fruits, I guess, unless it's a pineapple cookie.
Good job.
Anyway,
Phoenix.
I hope that's not a buzzkill. I'm sorry.
No, it's not. It's awesome.
Like, on, Phoenix, that was really great. Hope you have a great time at the lake and everything.
I hear you. Maybe I need to expand. Maybe I need to expand my palate and try pizza. Try pineapple on more things.
You know what?
Do you think it would be okay on chease pizza? Like I may do that. I may just be like, I'm gonna have an extra topping, and it's gonna be pineapple.
And send us a picture. And
put it on Instagram.
Yeah, we want to make sure that people know that you are pro pineapples. Okay.
Okay. Don't fall under their pressure. It's fine.
Do fall under the pressure. It's okay. All right. Anyhow, so I digress a little bit, but tell us about what it is you do. So what is? It's so hard to say. What do you do? Because honestly, it was a lot that I saw when I was on your Amazon page and I was looking at the little bio that it had on you, and it was just like, wow. And it's not like one of these where this guy just wants to be these things, guys. Like, no, he has legitimate works under his name. So I don't know. So tell us about those things. Sorry.
No, you're good. About the books or just about other things I'm interested in?
All of it, man. Tell us. Start from the top where you feel the most passionate towards right now. Okay. And then go down to your experience of what it is you've touched on, even. So.
No, I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. So I think a lot about the notion of neuroplasticity, and so that is basically just the idea that like you're able to learn like different things that you might not necessarily be good at, but like you're able to do it because you're able to, and I don't know exactly how it works, but the neurons are supposedly more flexible, so there's a way in which you can pick up these skills. But I think a lot of the times in our culture we're not always like inspired to like try new things, and I like that though. Like I like doing different things that I might not be good at. There's a wonderful YouTuber called Captain Sinbad, and he's actually talked about some of these notions where like it's kind of beneficial to not be good at a lot of different things, but to try it anyway. And to like, and I think that's really valuable, because I think a lot of the times it's easy to get stuck. We don't want to learn a new skill. We don't want to learn a new concept. We don't want to look at something in a new perspective. I hope that's not a buzzkill. I'm not saying people aren't curious. I just think a lot of the times we don't think of it in that way, that it's more flexible to be able to learn different things. And I know that that goes against like some ideas, even like classically in neuroscience, like they actually thought the brain was very set. So they thought you couldn't change these things, but you can. And so the reason why I mention that is because that's why I like doing a lot of different things. Like when I first started writing plays, I had people very critical of the plays, but I was like, but I tried it, right? Like,
right.
I wanted to do that. And so I can keep writing and hopefully I'll get better and they'll become more interesting for people. And it was the same with essays. People were recommending I write essays because it's a way of capturing a specific experience. So I wanted to do that. And then I've always loved music. So then I started playing guitar. And, you know, some of it is like, you have to be able to manage your time. I mean, I would like to ride my bike for 3 hours, but if I'm doing 20 other things, I can't do that. So some of it is just finding a way to manage the time. But I just love doing new things. I love new experiences and trying different things. And art is a huge way in which I explore that. So, yeah.
I appreciate that. You know, I appreciate that because I think there's definitely some merit to what you're saying, Phoenix, in the idea that, man, it's easy for me to sit at my keyboard or on my phone and scroll through and be like, what? You suck. You're not good. Or, you know what I mean? But then I'm also the one sitting here. I haven't done it, though, either. I haven't, you know what I mean? So it's easy for me to critique someone who has. But to be honest with you, those who do, like, even if you fell at it, like, in my book, I'm always like, man, people like you, I think it's amazing because you're doing something. It's
right.
Like,
yeah, you're not static. You know, you're always moving forward. You're always trying to learn. For me, like I'm always wanting to learn something new. And so I think that's exactly what you're saying. It's like, hey, I may try something new and I may suck at it, but at least I tried it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what, I believe that's what you're trying to say, really.
Yeah, exactly. And no, I was impressed when you were talking about photography, honestly, because it sounds like, you know, I know some people who have like these skills with photography, and I think it's so cool. It's something I probably wouldn't do myself, only because the difficulty, unless I was able to focus on it. But I really think it's cool that people do things like that. And that I'm curious what other kinds of things you like doing that maybe like you wonder if you're not good at, but that you like doing maybe.
That's a good question. You guys, real quick before you answer that, Joe, in the comments, you guys answer that too, because I would like to hear what you guys do. Because if I understand right, Phoenix, you're saying what is something that we like doing that we may not be good at, but we enjoy just doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Oh.
So I like singing, Phoenix, but I sound horrible. Okay, so
True story.
I mean, it's awful, and I feel sorry for everybody that has to ride in the car and listen to my concerts. Because it's bad. But anyway, but I always, and my mom always told me, oh, you suck. But anyway, she kept it real, which I appreciate. But yes.
So you didn't try out for American Idol because of her then?
Yeah, my mom would never take me. She'd be so embarrassed. No, but seriously, I do love singing, but I know I'm not good at it. So there's that.
There's that.
I keep trying.
All right. What about you, Joe?
So I love what am I
counting down?
Yeah, I love counting down. So I like to think that I'm pretty good at most sports, but I really suck at soccer. And so I just tell people that I hate playing the game because I'm not that good at it, but I really appreciate, I like to try it, and I see them doing all the things with their feet and stuff like that. And so I think that's really, and I just think that's a lot of running too. So now I'm too lazy to do it. I would be an exceptional half goalie. Like I would be on this one half of the goalie and then somebody else would be on the other part. And we'd both be goalies together, which I know is illegal, but still that's probably as good as I would get.
I'd be like, oh my gosh, just have
right, exactly. But I would, that was something that I'd love just how they do that stuff. And then just like, and then holy crap!
Holy crap! That scared me.
Sorry. I love beating dogs. Hold on.
Oh gosh, that was an eye opening. Linda answered over here. She said, "I'm taking a huge leap. I am drawing and learning to draw."
That's awesome,
great.
Linda.
That is really cool. Yeah.
I think for me, I would say it's photography, Phoenix. Actually, Joe kind of
Yeah.
Joe and some people got me interested, but I don't like taking pictures of people. I only like taking pictures of food, and so I've been trying to do that for the last year. And the way things are, it's been challenging. So, but that's what I want to try to do. I'm not good at it, but I'm trying to get good at it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I think it's
that.
yeah, I think it's very valuable. I mean, I feel like a lot of the times we feel like we do have to be good at stuff because we know people are judging us, you know? And I think a lot of the times the only way that you can get better is by doing it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
yeah, because that's what I teach, because I teach photography, and I tell people it's like you'll learn more from your bad pictures than you will your good pictures.
interesting.
Yeah, because you're like, hey, I took this bad picture. Why did I take this bad picture? And then you can learn how to dissect that, and so that's where you actually learn from. You know, the sun shines on a dog's butt every now and then. So if you take 100 and 200 pictures, you're going to get a couple out of it. But all those other ones that were mistakes, you need to know why you made those mistakes and how you can learn from that and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
So here, I'm gonna ask you this question, or hold on real quick. Jillian said, "My mom made me play soccer when I was a kid. I scored on my own team, and that was a wrap for me." You learned something, I think, that year, though, huh, Jillian?
yep. Mm-hmm.
And then Carrie. So this is a good segue, Phoenix. Carrie says, "Something not a lot of people know about me is I like to write. I just can't seem to ever organize my thoughts into a book."
That is a great segue. That's very cool.
So, you being the resident expert on this show tonight, do you have any tips that would help Carrie
organize her thoughts?
Yeah. So it's little steps. So they joked. So Stephen King joked. They were like, "So how do you write your books?" They're like, "How do you do this?" He was like, "One word at a time." Right? Like
I
we
love
always
Stephen King, by the way. Love him.
Yeah, Stephen King's great, but he wouldn't be able to do it if he wasn't focusing on one sentence for the moment, right? And that's such a powerful idea because we often think we have to embark on these grand projects. And so like I have written like really long books, like The Street Kid's like 700, 800 pages, but that book took the course of like half a year, maybe longer, to be able to do. But even that, I wonder if I should have done that and if I should have focused more small scale on some projects. And a good analogy that I've heard is that if you want to write a book, and this isn't my advice, which I think gives it more credence in some ways because I'm not biased, so this view isn't biased, but like if like you want to write a book, it doesn't have to even be that long. If it's like 80 pages, if you write half a page a day for like a month, just to try it, like you'd already have a book. And like it doesn't even need to be, you know, this huge monolithic Stephen King novel. Like there's a way in which it could just be this beautiful, elegant piece that you construct, and there's no limits on what it has to be. I find that to be really valuable. And then once you go from there, you can pick up steam. You know, it's like, oh, wow, now I have this under my belt. Like, this is what I want to try next. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
That's a good practical there, Phoenix. I like that because I do well with practicals, you know, like, you know, actual steps to take in life. And so you're saying, so I heard you say writing, you know, even half a page a day for an 80-page book, starting off there. And it's like you said, it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to be great. But if you do it, then you've accomplished it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I do. I think that's really important in contrasting like these huge gargantuan projects we expect ourselves to do. You know, I mean, I think about my goals and I realize, you know, it's going to take time. Like to do the things I want to do, I need to keep practicing. But I feel like for me, I'm like less worried about that because I'm content taking the smaller steps. I feel like I don't have to do anything grand. And I know that's ironic when I've published as many books as I have and written like 80 books. But I think that's even more important to take that in mind because, again, one word at a time. It's like the best way that you can do these things. And I don't think everything has to be so monolithic or gargantuan either. I mean, there's a way, you know, Chekhov wrote like an 80-page novel. He wrote a ton of short stories, which are like 10 pages. That's sufficient too. You know, like there's the thing about art that I see is really valuable is there's no limit to what you can do, but there's also no requirement either. You know, every writer that I've seen, even writers that I would never use their strategies just because I write differently, like their process is way different, but that's fine. Like there's no reason why it has to all be uniform. So, and even Stephen King will be like, write 2,000 words a day. I don't think everybody has to do that. You know, you could maybe your goal is to write like a few sentences and then build on that and then go from there. Vonnegut focused on editing his books, like just focusing on like one page at a time. So, I mean, there's so many ways you can do it. And the reason why I mentioned just like the short sentences is like Joyce wrote like a 600-page book, but he spent 20 years on it. So he was like only working at the sentence, even word level. So yeah.
He was like, subject, verb, preposition, predicate.
So
I like
what where were you in, at what point in life did you say, I want to write a book? Like,
so
what
this was
that?
At least when I was in third grade. So I remember we had to do these books, but I loved it. We like published our own book in third grade, which is really a cool concept. And it was called The Twisted Brothers. And I remember thinking about that book actually later on in my life. But I remember talking to the audience because we were reading our books. And I was like, I want to be a writer. And I don't know if it's maybe the way that I just recall that moment as being a very like honest moment, something that really meant a lot to me. But I still remember that even though that was a long time ago. It was something that has always stuck with me. And you know, so I think people are afraid to be artists in a lot of ways because it's not really always encouraged. And like, there is a lot of hardship that comes with it. There's a reason why we have the notion of the starving artist. But
good point.
They also say like, how many artists does a sixth grader want to be versus when they were in first grade? Like you have more people that want to be an artist when they're younger, and that's because it hasn't been killed out of them yet. And so I kind of have the flip side perspective of like, I know it's hard. Like, I know it's not easy, but I do think it's worth it. Even if like, you feel as if you're not reaching your goal, if you're not reaching your ideal, I think it's still very valuable. So that's kind of my motto, I guess, for my books and stuff.
I want to ask a couple questions from the audience real quick, or let's show you, Phoenix. Jacob Pam, one of the guys we had on pretty recently, he says, the barrier to entry in the creative world is just making yourself do it and do it consistently. I feel that when I think about what we've done on the show is, you know, when we first started, we were like, oh, we don't know if anyone's going to watch this, but we had a good time just hanging out together and just joking around. And we're like, we'll just do it. And then people started coming on like yourself. And we're like, yeah, this is fun. And then we're like, man, we really get to meet some new people. And it was just like, you know, we did it first for us. And then we developed into doing it more, you know, for everyone else also. But throughout everything, we've always, at the core of it, it's always been, we three have had a great time together. So,
right.
Priscilla here.
Yeah.
So she says, what is your favorite thing to write about? Wow. Third grade. That is so awesome.
I was playing with G.I. Joe in third grade.
I think I couldn't even pronounce author.
I was doing Thundercats or something for me. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my favorite thing. So it's a two-part answer. I'll try to make this as concise as possible. So one is just personal expression. I really like, so a lot of it is conveying, on that note of conveying internal states of mind. And, you know, sometimes it can be hard to make that interesting, but for me, it's also an immersion into the language. So it's like, what kind of way do I want to write this? And what way do I want to capture my experiences? And I like kind of looking at it in that poetic level. And so I like writing about my experiences, but a lot of it is because of my idea of introspection, which is like, one of the ways that we can understand the world and ourselves and the people around us and really have gratitude and appreciation for ourselves and for other people is by introspecting. And so one of my favorite things to write about is kind of like psychological states, experiences. So it's a very internal process. And then the other part that I was going to say too, though, is I love capturing scenes. That may sound a little bit generic, and I probably have to think about it some more to think about what I mean exactly in terms of how I would phrase the idea as an argument or a strategy. But I really like writing about things that I feel like I want to show other people. So that's one of the benefits of the introspection part. But I want to write about, so a scene is an example, or maybe an image, or even like an emotion that I capture in a poem. I want to be able to capture that so other people can try to relate to it. And I don't always expect people to relate to everything that I do, if anything at all. But a lot of it for me is I want them to at least have that chance. So like when people, and you can tell when writers are writing, because so like one thing that I see as a great example of this is when like you see this in a variety of texts such as Tolstoy and War and Peace, you get these really larger than life characters and you're like, this character was like almost real to this author, wasn't it? Like it wasn't just something, and like it's because they were passionate about that kind of thing. They wanted to convey that experience of that character, and I think stuff like that is so powerful. So yeah, two-part answer.
Yeah, I know, and I agree, because like you said, if you're passionate about something, if you tell even a couple of sentences, I mean, it's definitely going to show. So that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think what people forget about in the creative world, not everything is for public consumption.
That's true.
Like it's for you. If you wanted to create that work of art or that poem or whatever, it was a way for you to get your feelings, your emotions out at that time. And it's not necessarily because you wanted to make money at it. It's not necessarily, you just wanted to express how you were feeling at that time. And if the public likes it, great. But really it was for you. And I think what people forget is like, just because you make something and it may not be technically good, it may be horrible, that's not what it's for. It was for you at that point in time to get out what you wanted to get out.
Yeah. I'll admit I struggle with that a little bit, because I always see like the things that I write as wanting to be audience friendly. And so part of the process for me is kind of like figuring out what connects with people. And I'll admit that's a hard process.
Right.
Like, and it may even be against my nature in some ways, just in the sense I like trying different things, as I said. But even with writing, like I like different genres, I like different styles, different ways of writing, different traditions. So I think for me, I'm always trying to figure out what works too, because like I do want people to connect. But I think part of it is the balance. It's like, well, maybe these other things I wrote, maybe it's okay to just keep it on the down low for a little bit. I think I've gotten better at that through time. I've actually been editing some of my books, and that's kind of what I've been keeping in mind, is like, how would I present this? And the question is, do I want to present it, or do I want to kind of, so yeah, I think that distinction is really important.
Very cool. So do you I noticed that you write a lot of poetry. Do you prefer writing the poetry, or do you prefer writing the stories, or is it just like, hey, today I'm going to write a poem, and then you start making that collection of poems?
So a lot of it, well, I'll describe my process. So Stephen King has influenced me a lot, his process, and there have been other processes that have competed with it. But one of the things that he said is write 2,000 words a day. I was writing 2,000 words a day, but then my hand got injured because I was typing so much.
Oh. Yeah,
that was unexpected, but it happened. So I had to improvise. So now I talk, I dictate. I'm like afraid to type now. So, but it takes a really long time to do 2,000 words, but I was able to find a compromise with 1,500. But I was fine with that because I also have an iPad, and I love writing like 2 to 3 poems a day sometimes just one even, but I love writing poems on my iPad. So the reason why I say that is because I like the process itself of writing, because it's kind of like very intuitive to me, that in the morning I can be like, well, I'm going to write an essay or work on my novel. I'm going to write these things, and I really enjoy that process. But then in the evening, it's like, oh, but I'm going to write a poem now. I'm going to focus on the language and emotion. I'm going to focus on these other things, and I really like that process. So
that's, I feel you a little bit there, Phoenix, because I know when I have to text or message anyone, I know I'll hit enter and send, and then I'll look back and the screen will be filled up, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Mr. Pineapples is a little verbose. So if you're looking for just a short, sweet answer, don't go to him.
Yeah. Don't do that. But on that side, Phoenix, like what you're saying, it's like all reverberating, because I'm just like, man, I remember when I was younger, I remember used to wanting to write, and then like hearing you talk about it, I'm like, that's real easy. Just doing half a page a day. Like I could totally do that in like 15 seconds.
Well, and now he dictates it now. So you could just like, hey, I'm just going to say, when in the course of human events, blah, blah, blah. And it gets all
which is
typed out.
There was a question I wanted to ask from that, but I'll ask the one of our viewers had a question on that, and then I'll pivot from that, but along the same lines. But Anita says, you have an awesome voice, and we told you that, Phoenix.
Right? Yes, we did.
You have an awesome voice. Have you ever done any audiobook reading? Recording, I bet is what.
Recording as best.
Well, you know somebody that does that.
We do?
Yeah, they were on the show. Come on.
Oh, I remember. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Julian, I
I
apologize.
hope they're not watching.
They're watching.
It would
Saw
be
their
good
name
night.
earlier.
Anyhow, so the question was, do you have you ever done any audiobook recording?
So there is a little bit of a technological barrier. Technology's been great for publishing books, getting your work out there. I have a blog, I have a YouTube channel, so I have various ways of getting my work out there. But audio, so because I publish mostly through Amazon, I don't know if they have an audiobook platform. I should look into it. They may have had one at one point, and I just never thought about it because I wouldn't have known how to do it. You do have to be a little bit tech savvy for something like that, because even when you're designing your books, like you have to know what it looks like. And so you have to know some of the formatting stuff. I actually would very much want to do an audiobook, and I've thought about it. I just don't know how yet. And some of it is strictly because of just the medium I use.
Right.
So, and I'm not sure how I'd get that out there.
So Phoenix, now you know you have a good voice. So get on.
Right, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I could. Yeah, could you imagine like hearing you read your own poetry, because you would be able to convey exactly what you were feeling in that stuff, and being able to hear those little subtleties
That would be awesome,
to
man.
express, the mood of or theme of that poem. That would be really cool. Yeah,
That's
and I
like-
definitely have the voice for it. So
Yeah, Phoenix, that reminds me of the few audiobooks that Stephen King reads himself. And I'm always
Okay.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like, you get and Stephen King is one of my all-time favorite authors ever. Oh man. Anyway, so hearing him read some of the short stories he's done, I've always just been like, man, this is out of the world, the greatest parts,
So they do say that, yeah, one of the most chilling things that you can do is listening to an original author reading their own work.
Yes.
Like there's no other experience like it.
It is.
Because like
Yeah.
imagine if we heard Shakespeare reading, that'd be cool.
right,
Like, would we even be ready
Man.
for it? Like,
I
yeah.
think Joe probably heard him in the past. Joe, what do you think?
How was it, Joe? He didn't like that. Next question.
Moving on.
Next, please.
Priscilla said, do you like to read just as much as you love to write? Do you like to read just as much as you love to write?
I do. Yeah, I think books. So I actually I've come to a dilemma and a problem in my apartment, which is that I'm running out of room for books.
No.
So I have to decide what I'm going to do. Because I
listened to
actually,
that you sent us. I was like, he's got books the way they're supposed to be, and then the way that you try to put them in there.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so out of room. It's bad, but I love books. Yeah, I mean, I live with books. Because I think it's somewhat of a lost art. I think some people really do appreciate books, but like for me, like there is something about the way that we retrieve information and think about our ideas and think about a variety of things that I think you get from having books, having a bookcase and a bookshelf, having your own library. I find myself returning to books that I've read, find myself coming back to books, even just thinking about it when I look at the title and the cover. Like, so yeah. And I mentioned that because, it's kind of a metaphor for how important the books are for me. Like, I really think one of the best ways to even just learn a variety of things about the world is through reading. I think there are other ways to do it. You can listen to podcasts, which often have a lot of intelligent conversations. And you can, so there's a lot of valuable ways to learn, but I think books might be one of the lost art aspects of it, because I think we probably take books for granted. I think to a degree, we actually take literacy for granted. That's one of the things that's so great about publishing now is like, I am kind of aware that it's easy for me or for society to take literacy and reading for granted, and art that we have access. I mean, Netflix, right? We have access to so much stuff,
we need the Netflix for books, Phoenix.
Yeah,
I would be on that. Like, good Lord. Like, yes.
I feel like there are like certain, I don't know what they are, but like apps and stuff and programs where there's like one, I don't know exactly what it was, but basically they would do like a 15-minute summary of a book. So you'd have like the bite-sized version and you would just have access to so much stuff.
I need that.
Yeah. I wish I knew what it was called, but yeah. So yeah.
Someone had, look, hold on real quick. Jacob again is saying, the importance of audiobook production is having a great director and a great editor. So Phoenix, Jacob was one of our recent guests, and he is actually a part of a production studio,
Yeah,
or production company. And so this man is one of the men who would know what he's talking about here on that part.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I there's so much you've said. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Wait. So I hate to put you on the spot, Phoenix, but people are talking about your voice. We know that you write some poems. I think you need to read one of your poems right now.
Good idea. Is that okay,
Yeah.
Phoenix?
So I was also going to say too, if people have Kindle Unlimited, I'm totally fine with them downloading all of the books. I mean, it's unlikely you'll get to all of them like within a year, but I actually encourage it because that's one of the great things about these mediums is you can get access to so many things that you might not normally have access to.
Yes.
So
and we'll put a link for his Amazon page in the comments later on, guys, so that you can go visit it. Actually, I'll do it now while he reads.
So I wanted to read this poem from my book Rap, since you had purchased that one.
Oh yeah, that's the one I got.
That way you can get a teaser.
Nice.
Perfect.
Okay. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Cosmic X, sharp. Deep breath, it begins in death. Exclusion is our illusion, reality is our prison, our passion. So I make sense of it off the cuff. The ideas in my mind are enough. The cosmos wants me to be rough. I exist in my head, spirited, tough. The ideas, I can't say what they mean. It's the stars bursting and feeling. The image seen, an image of freedom in my head. Will it begin when I am dead? The suicide of a universe, my poetry is lethal verse. Think about who you are, bursting like an infinite star. The world begins here. Let it go. Let go of all the fear. I keep trying, though I don't know why. I reject my own heart and die. The world is not fair with no human mind to spare, but I know I exist in the world rare. I'm bound up with my past. Here, think fast. I can't make sense of any of it. I breathe subjective. Just let me live. It doesn't begin in death, but rather life. Here, hold my bladed word knife. The cosmos is inside.
Oh wait, how do you?
Wow.
I don't want to clap.
You can
That's
clap.
awesome.
The snaps are that's popular in slam. Yeah.
That's so
Dude, that was awesome.
That was
Phoenix.
very cool. Very cool.
Man.
Okay, so
I
explain
can't
it to
wait
us.
to get that.
It felt like someone like feeling confined. That's what I kind of like. I was kind of getting my first impressions of it.
Okay, yeah. I actually want to give you the flip side, which is it's actually talking about expansion and the freedom we find through, because I know what you mean. Like the imagery would imply that, you feel stuck. And I obviously, when I write some of these poems, sometimes filtering heavy emotions, especially if you're thinking of rap and music and poetry and slam, you're thinking of the heavy emotions. But for me, I don't know if people are convinced with this, but I really like the idea that language is like truly infinite. And there's actually been arguments that have been made, such as by linguists like Chomsky, that have like shown that language really is like infinite, at least as infinite as we can imagine. And so even if I myself feel confined, there's a way that I can free myself with words. And so I would say that's what the poem is pushing for. So You're right about the confinement, but I also try to have an antidote too.
Perfect.
Awesome.
The comments started rolling in after you started talking, man, and Jacob is giving you some
rock and roll,
fingers.
man.
Yeah, he also said, "I feel like I need a bongo now."
I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, I need.
Linda was saying, "Wow, that's awesome." Carrie is giving you some snaps there. Even Tim is saying cool stuff there. Anita, so cool. I bet you could read the phone book and it made it sound awesome. So sweet. Yes, you need to record a lot of your work. Amazing voice, such talent.
Boom.
Dude, Phoenix, the people are speaking to you right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. We only need 10%.
At JPino123. That's my Venmo, okay? Just FYI.
I'll read that last one that Carrie did too.
It says, Phoenix, I hope you know how awesome you are.
Thank you. Yeah, that really means a lot.
Well, awesome. Thank y'all.
Well, because I think the flip side of all of this is I think we're our own worst critic. You know, I think it's really easy to be harsh on yourself, and the comparisons are real. Like we really very much feel like we have to be like Stephen King or we have to, and I really think that the true beauty and diversity and what people offer comes in that diversity. It comes in realizing the uniqueness that each person offers. And so the goal for me, even if it may be a little controversial, is like, instead of homogenizing everything and making it the same, let's make it all different. Let's make it all chaos.
Right.
I'm kidding. but not chaos. But
just a little,
a little bit, just a pinch.
Exactly.
Yeah. But no, I appreciate all of that. Yeah, everyone's very kind, and I'm glad that you enjoy. I can read another one if you want, unless we needed to focus on other things.
One question for you, Phoenix,
Okay.
if you don't mind. So, say for example, I gather all my thoughts. How, and I want to publish a book. How would I go about doing that?
Okay. Well, you have several options. I'm curious what the book would be.
Huh?
You know? Or are you still thinking about it?
It'd be about true crime.
Yeah.
It would be about a true. It wouldn't be like O.J. Simpson's if I had committed the murder. No. It would be some true crime mystery or something.
Okay. So,
Comedy, true crime. That's what it would be.
Well, I'm trying to think of like the niche right now of like who are some authors you really like in true crime? Do you know?
See,
or shows maybe like where's the influence and inspiration for it?
Good
okay,
question.
so the influence and inspiration came from it. I'm dating myself, not as carbon dating as Joe, but so it would. So it came from like Adam Walsh. What was it? Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought.
He does that to you.
America's Most Wanted, Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack. I mean, he had an amazing voice, didn't he?
Yeah.
And like Rescue 911, like all the true stuff that ever happened. Like that's what inspired me. I mean, way back when.
Okay. I only
Rescue
wonder.
911.
Would the book be the ultimate form you imagine it in, or would it be like a script, or would it be? Yeah, I mean, again, like you should focus it when you know what you want to do, but also the sky's the limit, right? Like, what is it that what medium do you want to tap into? Because if it's book, that's fine too, obviously.
Right.
'Cause I have some ideas.
I'll
Answer,
get
Sandy.
back to you on that one.
Okay, yeah. But I do have thoughts on that though for publication if we wanted to go there.
Well, I mean, I do want to go just okay. Let's just take all the crime out of it. My life. I want to tell people about me.
Okay. So if it was going to be in a book, I would say you have a few options. One of which you could do what I did, which was really take advantage of independent media, as I call it. And so a phrase that I like using is alternative media. And often what I imagine by that is the space that we kind of carve out for ourselves through maybe up and coming platforms and mediums. So for instance, I think YouTube is actually very effective for, because I like YouTube, and it's a really interesting medium for just talking about things. Mm-hmm. So like I'll talk about philosophical ideas, or I'll be autobiographical and talk about experiences. I want to even do a vlog sometime where I just talk about my day, you know, like, so YouTube is a great platform. If you were going to write a book, I would say the alternative medium for that would probably be something like KDP, which is through Amazon. And basically, as I was talking about, you could structure your book and you would be able to put it out. And even if like you didn't want it to be too fancy, you could just like have an ebook. And I've done ebooks as well. So you definitely have a lot of options. And then there is always the just simply look for mediums that you like and then try to coordinate in contact with them. So I think, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie and Joe have ideas for platforms and mediums and connections that could help catapult some of this stuff. You know, like I really think there's no limit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But again, it depends on what you want to do. And sometimes it'll take some thought. You won't always know. But if for a book, I think a book is a great form as well. And there's definitely options there. KDP would be one of them. I recommend that again, because with alternative media, you can really create your own space and it's really cool.
Okay.
So
thank you.
Yeah. And I recommend for people that like are writing books and trying to get out there, like don't underestimate the simplicity of something like a blog. Like you could always like publish like independent chapters, or if you're just writing like short essays or poetry, you could publish that. And that's a good way of gaining traction as well. So really just using mediums. And I do think if you want to publish a book, there are a lot of options. I personally like alternative media, but there's always other publishers as well that you can consult. And I think that they're interested in new work. And so yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for
advice.
that.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
I would like to hear another poem.
Okay.
Rap, if that's,
and then,
or wherever you were.
Then I have a question after that. So go ahead and read it.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. So this one is called Now. Rap. I play the game just the same. I go insane and spit in the rain. We always want magic, but in this day and age, we are merely tragic. What do we think we actually know? We become fleet-foot, sleet and snow. We just want to speak to know, tell the truth and sing, feel live, repeat. With the words we drop, the mic we drop, the poetry we never stop, a crackle and pop. If you want answers, refrain from brain burrs, like cold bone spurs. Make yourself here and now, otherwise you'll never smile. I make the case to be radical, but I'll settle for being cool. If you knew, you'd play it cool. Old school, you'd know the rules. Make me happy or make me sad. I'm not that. I'm a reflection with the reason. What you see is what you get. Action and direction. Trailblaze and raise it all with sharp rays. Be here, erase. I'm here and I'm alive. I'm taking the high dive. Experience is key in the strange mystery. Create your own history. Help me. In this life, we've barely begun. Our lives a loaded gun. Set it to stun. Become, just become. A special blazing sun. I'm here and I'm now. Here and now. We've just barely begun. One hope, one light. Together we run. Together we fight. Our flight.
Very nice.
Love it.
Dude, that is awesome, man. I can't wait to get that book. I really am like hearing you talk about it now. I'm like, oh, this is going to be some great reading coming up soon. I bet. Oh, I'm gonna make that my reading for while we go on hiatus, guys.
Very cool.
Okay, good. Come back with some good stuff.
Yeah.
So Phoenix, we're nearing the end of the show, but my question to you though is, where do you see yourself or in the future? What is your goal? What is your big goal, if there is one, that you'd like to hopefully attain here soon?
Well, that's a good question. So there are a couple things. One is connection. People emphasize that sometimes, and it kind of has like the association of like hippies, which is fine. Some people are critical of it though. There might actually be some degree of truth to it though, is that we're not like isolated beings. It doesn't mean we can't have some degree of individuality. And as I said, I actually really value diversity. I think ironically, it's our differences that make us who we are. I think people don't like that idea because I think we do all need to be the same. But I think, and it depends on what kind of differences you're talking about. I'm talking more like metaphysical differences where like, you know, this is the way that I get excited in the world, or this is like what I'm interested in. This is what I care about. I think having a multiplicity is really important. But even with having our individual selves, like we have to be able to connect with other people. And I think that that's really valuable. And so what I hope for is I can continue to write and to play music and to do the things that I do. And honestly, this connection here has been wonderful. And this is an example of what I hope to do more in the future, because with technology and with kind of just the resources that we have at hand, I feel like that helps with like meeting new people, making new connections, sharing ideas, and those kinds of things. So connection is one of those things. And by connection, I'm also talking about really connecting with other people, which may sound vague, but it probably makes sense to a degree that like, again, like we're not just like our own self, like we need other people, we need to be connected. And I don't think being an individual and diverse is always at odds with that connection with other people. So I think sometimes I probably do become a little bit too solitary. I've tried to work on that. It might just be the nature of writers. I mean, you have the image of the hopeless romantic writing their poetry obscurely in a shack somewhere, like, you know, like Rousseau or Thoreau. So connection is a huge thing. And then just in terms of just growing as an artist, like I have a lot of interests and I want to be able to expand on those things and hopefully connect with other people in that way as well. And I'm glad I've connected here, and that there are a lot of things that you're excited about with your own podcast and with your own journey. And I just hope to share that in some way. So yeah, wow. I will keep publishing books and writing, and I'll be playing music and stuff. So,
you know, Phoenix, that was like, that answer was almost like the epitome of the social and distancing show. Not even like, did you guys, I was like, oh my gosh, he's answering. Someone's asked, what is the social and distancing show? And he just answered for us in this amazing way.
Yeah, so we're going to take that, cut it out, and, you know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got a DJ, we've got a beatboxer we know. We're going to have him spit some
right, exactly.
all that.
Right, exactly.
That was awesome, man. I'm not even lying. That was stinking awesome, man. We're gonna have to let you go here soon, Phoenix. Okay. But I want to give you. Hold on, real quick.
Right under amazing. Oh,
yeah, right there. So,
blogs. Yeah.
thank you. So there was a lot of people who commented. I just wanted you to get some feedback from there. So Ivy Valori says, "Amazing, bravo, Phoenix." This is after you read the second poem. Anita came back. Wow, that was powerful. Priscilla saying, "Love it." Carrie Patton Jackson, wow, clapping. Linda here again. Jamie, Jaime, you're going to have rhythm to read that book and get the great vibes. I don't think I have a problem with that, Linda.
Yeah,
all right?
you'll have to go back and watch this show and see how he reads it, and then
Jacob just giving you rocking fingers again, or I don't know what to call that. Carrie again, Phoenix, I think you have found some people who want to sit at your table. That is true right there.
Yeah.
If you ever get a show, a podcast, on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, you let us know, man. We would be happy to watch. Okay.
Right.
Ivy again, you rock, Phoenix. So, all right. We want to give you some time here to kind of give a shout out to whatever it is you want to plug. So we're going to give you the screen and give you some time to just say whatever it is you want to say. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. First off, I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed the poetry. I'm very excited that I was able to be part of the show and to share these things. And I hope that what I said has resonated in some way. I did want to shout out my publisher, two of my books, Separation, Healing, and Rogue, which was Hybrid Sequence Media, over with Donald Armfield, who writes great poetry himself, including Figures of the Undergrowth, and the book Ivy Valerie wrote with Donald Armfield as well. I'm blanking on the title, I apologize, but check out HSM, Hybrid Sequence Media. I think that you'll enjoy it. They have plenty of publications, and they've been coming out with poetry and fiction and a lot of various things, so I encourage that. And I also encourage you to check out my YouTube channel. I do focus on that, even though music and writing are one of the things that I really enjoy a lot, and writing was what I started with. I do really enjoy making videos as well, and that's a place where I talk about all my ideas in a more integrative way in terms of how would you describe it? In terms of video and the accessibility and immediacy of that. And so I encourage you to check that out. The link to my YouTube channel is on my Amazon author page. So I encourage you to check that out. And I do have other books that I've written. I would describe it as an adventure if you are interested in these things. And I encourage you to check out whatever book sounds interesting. And there are other books out there by other wonderful writers. So I encourage you to check that out as well. Various writers. So yeah,
Awesome.
I think that's everything I want to plug. But I encourage you to be yourself and to find what speaks to you, and to do the things artistically or otherwise that have a lot of meaning. And again, not to overemphasize it, but connection. I think really connecting with people, I'm really glad I was able to do that today. And I really do try to emphasize that and create that with my art. So I hope that it means something and resonates. Thank you.
Awesome, Phoenix. Thank you
Very
so much.
nice. Very nice.
And we always like to ask our guests, Phoenix, to give us a topic for a future episode. So with that in mind, do you have a topic that you'd like for the three of us to cover for a future episode?
Well, I have a couple ideas. Can I share those?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would depend on how you would do it. I have been thinking about Donald over at HSM, who published two of my books. And I think about him because I really like his vision for what he's doing for the writing community. I would describe the works as being very intense, which is probably why he published me. But I think there's a lot of value in that. And I think people are so maybe talking with that publisher would be really cool. I also
HPSM.
HSM, so Hybrid Sequence Media. And I could always send the link to the Facebook page or something. Yeah, I think he would be really cool. And I was going to say, just in general, just find artists, find people that are really passionate about what they're doing. I would love to see, I actually really like metal music because of the upbeat nature, and I love rock, even classic rock, because of that intensity. And so if you could have a musician, I think that'd be pretty cool too. I can't think of any at this point, but if you knew of one. So I would love to see how they talk about music and ideas and how they convey that emotion. So
very cool.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that.
I'll put that in the comments. Angie Burns, we've never seen you before here, but thanks for coming. She gave you a heart out there. There's just some more comments coming your way, so I want to give those to you before you leave. Okay. Linda's saying, "Can't wait for you to get started with your audiobooks. Amazing." Carrie said, "I hope his topic is Phoenix comes back to the social and distancing show." Ivy says, "Awesome shout out for HSM." So, cool. Phoenix, you got a lot of people out here who loved you today. Okay, I hope you're feeling the love, man. Because
I do. Yeah. No, I'm moved. I'm very moved.
Awesome. Yeah. So look, we hate to let you go, but we need to end the show so everyone can go to bed. But we're gonna ask you just hang out in the green room for a little bit, and we'll be back once the show's done, and then you can hang out and we can chit chat a little bit for just the four of us. Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you, Phoenix.
Thanks, Phoenix.
Thank you.
Priscilla.
That was a great guest.
You've been holding out, Priscilla.
No kidding. What in the world?
Man, that one was like a home run right there.
No kidding. Jeez. Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you for connecting us. Like, I am so happy.
So what we need to do is we need to say what we think the theme of that last poem was, and then when we go back to the after show, we'll see who was right. So just think about it.
He'd have to read it again. It's already.
Oh, we might need. I appreciate Sandy gets saying first.
No, Sandy. You just got to go with what you're feeling at that time. So yeah.
Okay, ready? I'll go first while I think about it.
Okay. So everyone, thank you for hanging out with us. I know we're a few minutes over. Appreciate it. I hope y'all had just as great a time as we did with Phoenix Rises, because amazing
stuff.
Come and hang out with us tomorrow night. Is tomorrow already Friday, guys?
It's Friday. Friday.
Should I sing for you?
I'm so excited. I'm just peachy about it. I'm tickled. So come hang out with us tomorrow night as we do our Freaky Friday True Crime Edition.
Oh, I got this one.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to tell mine. I've been excited to tell mine all week. So, I've saved it up, but it'll be good.
I was uber excited.
Uber. So come and join us tomorrow night, and then don't forget about the after show right after we finish up here. So thanks all. Go to his Amazon page, please, and check out his books. Go buy some of his books. I know you can get it on Kindle Unlimited, but it really supports the artist. So buy the book, get it shipped to you, and help him out a little bit.
Huh? Cheaps. I said, cheap.
Okay, everyone, we love you, and thanks for hanging out. And as usual,
remember to wash your hands
for at least 20 seconds.
You filthy animals.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. And love whoever gave us the mean face, we're coming after you.
What was that?
I can't believe you gave us the mean face.
You know what, Joe? Put the mouse over it. It tells you it was B.
Oh, we're gonna have to. It was her. Okay.
I don't know how.
B is fired. B is fired.
We just figured that out.
No, remember I told you I laughed